Hey divas, I'm here about to go to the organic store. This is my second video of the day, but I just have to let you into my life because it is so juicy AF. It is juicy because I get to do the work I love to do. I get to work with women all around the world, and I just had Alyssa message me that she has just sold 6 spots of her 1 month immersion, only 1 month, for $2,000 per person. She's got 3 spots left or something like that. Yes. And I just got a message from Jocelyn, they're both in my high-end Empire Diva Mind, who just did her first $30,000 month. And they're doing incredible work. They're changing lives. They're activated. They're lit up. They're making more money. They're in their power. And that was just in the last hour. I'm so blessed. I'm so happy. I'm just lit up as all F. Hey, Amy. Hey, Aiko. Hey, Olivia. Can't wait to welcome you in. I was just doing a rave. I'm sitting here in my car. I was actually listening to techno. I don't know if it's still going. Is it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? This is my vibration. I'm about to go shopping, but listen to the vibration. Like, it is time to wake up. It is time to have fun. It is time to alchemize your pain, and it is time to make it rain. Push it up. That's how I live my life, and that's how I am with my students. Turn up the volume. Jocelyn, I was having a dance party. Right? You can either choose for it to be this struggle. I've been there. I get it. You can choose to have it be a struggle, or you can fucking make it rain. You can take your pain and turn it into your power. You can take your trauma and turn it into your teaching. You can take your suffering and make it your salvation, because that's why we're here. Hey, Devashi. Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Beauty. Hey, Olivia. I am so excited. So, Alyssa, all these different women, I won't use some names. Some people want to keep themselves secret. It is just so exciting to see women stand in their power. And I was speaking to someone today, like, really at the end of the day, when we have more financial power, we always have more personal power. I was speaking to a new potential manager for me to come in and help me with some stuff. And I was saying, unless you can hold that level of real presence and energy of service, but also your own inherent abundance, working for me probably won't work out, because you've got to bring your A game. You've got to hold space for people with such a high level vibration. Suffering to salvation. Hey, Julie, love you. I love it too. And it's such a choice, and sometimes I don't think we realize we even have that choice. We just get so stuck in the suffering loop that we, so many of the women that I work with are healers and mystics and coaches and profoundly gifted and profoundly talented. But we all have those times in our lives, I think, where we feel just wrecked. And it's nice to be reminded that, you can literally change everything so quickly when you choose to. When you bow down to the divine, or when you decide to give up your stories, or when you surrender and do the work that you are called to. Hey, gorgeous Lara. Do the work that you're really called to do, both energetically in terms of your service that you're going to provide other people, but also your own internal work. I think strategy is one part. Strategy, obviously, I have a beautiful, incredible high priestess, beautiful woman in my course at the moment, in my Diva Mind, which is sort of my more mid to high level. It's actually all mid right now because the price of my stuff at the moment is just nuts for what you get. I have to tell you, it is friggin' good. So if you're thinking about working with me, you should do it now, because I get over myself and then I'll be like, I'm just going to double my prices because it's just crazy. But yeah, so she's amazing. And she says, oh, you know, it's just flowing in now. And she wasn't getting it at the beginning. She was kind of like resistant. And there was some personal stuff happening for her. And she left a relationship and moved countries. And it was not working for her. It was working for her, but it wasn't the right time. And she was going through all this personal stuff. It was huge. And took her a few months. And then it's like, boom. It's just like, right? You must raise your prices forever. Yes, thank you. Look, I think my cheaper prices are really good at the moment because I get to help. It took me years to be able to financially do it because, you know, it's harder in some way to have a lower ticket price point, because if you're also doing the live coaching, which we do, it costs me money to do that. Like, it costs me a lot of money to run it. It costs me a lot of money to fill it in terms of driving traffic and sales. To have a lower ticket $2,000 price point where I've got 12 weeks of live coaching and all the work that we do there, and I have to hire somebody else to do a lot of that support. I really literally couldn't cope. But financially I kind of carry it with all my other sales, but we do have some cheaper products at the moment. My Diva Minds really should be 25k. It's 10, and we've also got a 5k, which is amazing for what you get for the value, like huge. So they're the women that are doing massive, pretty great sales, amazing sales. But I was just talking about this beautiful high priestess woman. Anyway, so she had all this struggle in her personal life, and so it wasn't clicking over. And now she's like, oh my God. And this is what happens. People are like, they can find it like, oh, you know, like I'm not getting it. I'm kind of not getting it. And then like, it's a big transformation. It's like different way of processing. It's a different way of showing up. You're being asked to do things that are very uncomfortable. And then it becomes like, oh, I get it. And it becomes easier and easier and easier and easier until literally they're just embodying a whole new way of being. And it's exactly what I've had to go through with my own transformation. So I really deeply get it. So she literally now is like, oh my God, like I've sold out of my offers. I've got another one coming now. I've got to go and create it. So she just sent it to me on the weekend. And she goes, oh, I'm not really marketing. But here's the thing, and I was laughing with my husband today when we went to go hiking, and I'm like, but she kind of was marketing. She is gorgeous, and she sings, and she does all this amazing stuff. She's absolutely gorgeous looking. She's beautiful. She's just so naturally just magnetic and lovely. But she was always, oh, I am talking about you. Oh, that's hilarious. But I was saying to my husband today, but she was kind of marketing, but she just wasn't making an offer. So she was showing up in her fullness, but wasn't really making an offer. And now she is making an offer. And hello, people are buying. And I'm so happy for you. Hey, so lots of good, beautiful sales coming in today. Surprise, surprise. So we've got Jocelyn, Scarlett, we've got Alyssa. Alyssa had to get finance to work with me. And Alyssa has tripled her investment in the last, I think, 3 months. And I'm just so happy because they're doing incredible work. It's like paying it forward. Like, it's like they're giving out more than they're getting financially, really. So I'm just really happy. And, you know, some people recently have had this feeling of imposter syndrome come up as well in my groups. You know, will the work be powerful enough in the end? Will I provide a big enough value? And that's just normal when you're starting out. Because I know when I was starting out with my group programs, I was fine with one-on-one. I really didn't have that fear. I know I was pretty proficient with my work. I felt pretty good about that. But I really did have a fear in the end with the group, and I was petrified of teaching in a group, showing up in a group. So if any of that emotion is coming up, or any emotion, it's all a journey. Just be patient with yourself and loving, and know that it will pass, and it's just fears and that sort of shadow coming up, and to just be patient and gradual, because we've kind of all gone through it. And I think when you, hey Monique, hey Sandy, hey gorgeous women, that it will pass, and it's just that healing that's coming up, and that emotion that's coming up to be seen, and the fears coming up to be seen and witnessed and released. So what you have is enough, and it will be enough, and it's always fixable anyway. Like if there's something that you don't feel that you're able to give a client, that they're not getting it, like at the end of the day, it is also, I always say this, it's a co-creation. Like how do you figure out your calling and your zone of genius? People ask me that, and they also say that a lot with speaking to my diva team as well. The best thing to do is, like, we will help you map all of that out. Like, we do this day in and day out. Like, we attune to your gifts and your beautiful. You really got to look at your superpowers. You got to look at your gifts. You've got to honor your gifts, and you also got to decide, like, what do you love to teach the most. Usually it's our biggest suffering. Some of our biggest suffering is where we need to teach. So some of the biggest life lessons that you've ever had, things that have brought you to your hands and knees, that's where your teaching is going to come from. So what have you learned through that journey, and what can you pass on and teach others? That's going to be huge. I think, Akoi, I've already told you, Diva, that you have a very big vision, and you need to ground the vision in, and you need to start with one specific area, and then you need to make money, and you need to bring in clients there. You need to master that, and then you go to the biggest vision. Sometimes isn't the best, because if you're like a visionary and you're very creative, it can just absolutely slam you and completely overwhelm you. So you want to get really grounded, and if I saw the whole vision, I could really easily see, okay, well, I want you to take that chunk. Like, I had a woman come to work with me privately, and she had this huge vision. Tori, what does she do? Helped me with that last week. That's awesome, Julie. Tori's one of my coaches, which is amazing. It's awesome. If I could see the big vision, like, I was using that woman as an example. So she came to me, she wanted to do a teacher training, and she started bringing in all this stuff from NLP to galactic healing and I'm like, we're going to be there. You're going to be teaching these people for 3 years. It's too much. And it was really overwhelming. Okay. It was just like, you can feel the energy of it. It's just so, it's like, I have to do so much. I'm like, if you want to do 1 year immersion and then do a year 2 and 3 and do different levels, absolutely. But you doing that right now, and then people feel like failures. People feel like, oh my God, it's a 3 year commitment. It's a 2 year commitment. So you don't need to give it all. So Akoi, I just really break down something like, if you can do an 8-week process, then focus on the 8-week process, or just keep it simple. Really tune into that core problem that you're solving, and just stay with that one core problem, and then you can move on to other realms of enlightenment, consciousness, and service. The most important thing is to get to market and to start serving and really get crystal clear and get in alignment and sell, and then you can scale from there. You want to perfect it. Like with one of my girls, some of them do private work. A lot of them now who are in my higher ticket groups, hey gorgeous creeper, they're going into doing group high end and selling like large volume of group high end, which is wonderful because you have a scalable product. So that way, like I have 100 students at the moment, currently, at least, maybe 300 actually. Oh no, about 200. So the way that I'm able to do that is because I have a process and a product that, I can bring on 50 new students this week and still be able to support that. So yes, I'm sending so much love. Ladies do it, says Creeper. Thank you, darling. I'm loving your new photo. I'm going to go to this health food store and get some sugar-free chocolate because the vibe is amazing. I just love it. I just feel so blessed. I meet these most incredible women, and it's so wonderful to see them really birth this work at a whole new level, and to do the work they're called to do, to become more deeply abundant, to own their voices, to heal karmic wounds, to stand in their power, and to be truthful about who they are, to not hide who they are. But to be you have to be very, very deliberate. You have to be very deliberate. Yeah, oh, I love my sugar-free chocolate. I found this sugar-free chocolate that is a paleo one with natural flavors, and it's so good. It's got heaps of fat in it but no sugar, so that's good. I'm sugar resistant, so I love raw chocolate, and I make my own. I make it with raw cacao, a little bit of stevia, which I don't know, it's probably not that good, a bit of vanilla, what else, tahini and coconut oil, and then I freeze it. I'll do that for you one day. I'll make it for you if you want, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay guys, yes, I'm trying not to grow an extra butt during this COVID. Been walking, exercising, taking my time, and I was speaking to another client today a little bit about, you know, just the overwork, and she says she doesn't know how I support everybody. Sometimes I don't know how I do it either, but I do have help, and I do have a team around me to support, and really learning, you know, and really noticing in my own body and my own how I'm feeling, you know. Is it coming from this flow energy where it's just running, you know, I feel very buoyant, or am I getting really like that feeling of drain, and am I in pleasure, or am I kind of in this, I don't know, just sort of toxic kind of grinding energy? So yeah, I'm very mindful with that. Ladies, it's time for femme empowerment and rising. Let's go to grow. Yes, it is time. I think it's really, you know, important to be excited and say it's time. And it's another thing to actually really make it now. Like, what shift do you need to make it now? Like, really make the changes now. It's just a choice. It's just a direct command that you're not going to wait. You don't have one foot in and one foot out. Like, you're completely aligned with your desire and what you're wanting, and you're prepared to do what it takes. There's always a femme masculine aspect. One is the desire and the way you want to feel, and the other is the action and the implementation and the deliberateness and the planning. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go now and buy my chocolate. I'm just sitting here in my car, a bit sweaty, and I'm sending you so much love. Bless, 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 bless. If you want to speak to someone on my team, I wasn't gonna say this, but if you want to, just because you know where to find me, you know where I am. I've got heaps of free content. I put up my Sacred Money Miracle. I've got my Midas Touch. I'll put some of those links up later. Read the content, watch the videos. If you want to talk to someone on my team, it's ceodivachat.com. Talk to us. We don't do these calls like how a lot of people do them. We have a whole process that I've mapped out. So the process that I take people on, I'm going to be dreaming of chocolates, is where we actually do strategy for you, and we really look at what you're doing, what you're not doing, what needs to be shifted. It's a pretty juicy call to get on. So if you haven't done one yet, you should. Okay, bless. Kisses. Bye.